All right, welcome to another deep dive. We are diving into a D&D campaign,
Oh, nice.
a long-running D&D campaign,
Cool.
and we have logs, we've got character sheets,
Wow.
we've got loot lists, the whole 9 yards.
And
It's like we're getting a backstage pass to the most exciting D&D game ever.
I love it.
So by the end of this deep dive, you're going to understand how this campaign works,
Right.
who the players are,
Okay.
and some of the highlights of this game.
It's always fascinating to see these long-running campaigns and how they develop over time.
Yeah.
And just the level of detail that we have in these documents is incredible.
Absolutely.
We can really get a sense of not just what happened, but the thought process behind the players' decisions and how they interacted with the DM.
So let's talk about the players.
Okay.
The A-team, as they're called.
All right.
They are level 26.
Wow.
Which is epic level.
That's crazy high level.
I mean, they are basically demigods at this point.
Yeah, you're getting into like the realm of gods at that point.
That's right.
Incredible.
They've got Snarf the Cleric, Frosthawk the Ranger, Morgana the Fighter, a Dragonborn champion of Tiamat, also a fighter.
Okay.
Von Heisenberg the Wizard, Noob the Fighter, and Reginald the Fighter.
Wow, that's a lot of fighters.
A lot of fighters.
That's a very martial party.
Very martial.
So you can kind of guess that they probably like to hit things really hard.
Yeah, they probably focus on just overwhelming their enemies.
Right, just brute force, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which at that level makes sense.
But we do have a cleric in there, Snarf, and
Right.
Snarf is immortal.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Now, what does immortal mean in this context? Does he just not die?
When he dies, he's sent to the astral plane.
Oh, okay.
And then the rest of the party has to go and rescue him.
Oh, that's a cool mechanic.
It is.
It's like a built-in side quest.
Yeah, it's like permadeath, but with extra steps. Exactly.
So there's a little more pressure there.
Yeah, they can't just let him die willy-nilly.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to be a bit more strategic.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's why they're so focused on controlling the battlefield.
I was just going to say that because they really emphasize stuns and the combat advantage in their notes.
So they like to disable their enemies and then get the upper hand. Makes sense.
They've got it down to a science.
They're a well-oiled machine at this point.
That's right.
But it's not just them, right?
Nope.
They have allies as well.
They do.
DM-controlled allies.
Yep.
We've got Foxy the Bard,
Mm-hmm.
Azrael the Psychic, and Selixia.
Another psychic.
Another psychic, powerful ally.
Yeah, so they're not just relying on their own strength.
Right.
They've got some help.
They do.
Which is good because at that level, you need all the help you can get.
Yeah, the enemies are going to be tough.
For sure.
And Foxy the Bard, she's got this aura that boosts everybody's damage. So it's like a constant power-up for the whole party.
That's huge.
Yeah, teamwork makes the dream work in this campaign.
You can see the DM is setting them up for scenarios where they need to work together. It's not just about individual power.
Yeah.
It's about combining their strengths
Absolutely.
to overcome challenges.
And to make things even more interesting.
Oh, there's more.
That's a twist.
Okay, I like twists.
They've got some former player characters.
Oh.
Optimus, Primordius, and Severus.
Okay.
Who are now being controlled
Oh, no.
by a former player named Slimpikins.
As enemies.
As enemies.
So they're fighting their old friends.
Oh, that's right.
That's brutal.
It is.
That adds a whole new level of personal stakes.
It does, yeah.
It's not just some random villain they have to defeat.
Right.
It's people they know.
It's people they've adventured with.
Yeah.
And speaking of adventures, one of the recent dungeons they went through was called Death's Reach.
Ooh, that sounds ominous.
A little foreshadowing, perhaps.
Maybe.
But despite all these dangers, the A-team seems to be doing pretty well, at least financially.
Right.
They have over 1 million gold in reserve.
Oh, they're rich.
And they're constantly selling off loot.
Well, that's how you get rich in D&D.
Right.
You gotta sell that loot.
And speaking of loot...
Yes, let's talk loot.
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay, hit me with it.
We've got a gray rain cloak.
A what?
It creates a puddle of drinkable water.
So like a portable water source.
Yeah, perfect for a thirsty adventuring party.
That's pretty handy.
Very handy.
What else?
Crypt spawn potions.
Okay, what does those do?
You drink it and you get necrotic and disease resistance.
So they're going into some spooky places then.
Sounds like it.
If they need that kind of protection.
What else?
Elixirs of aptitude?
Elixirs of aptitude. I wonder what those do.
I don't know, but I want to find out.
Me too.
And then there are the Necrotic Frost Lightning Flaming AK-47s. Whoa, hold on, what?
You heard that right.
That's a mouthful.
Necrotic Frost Lightning Flaming AK-47s.
That's an amazing name.
It's incredible.
It's like the DM just took all the cool things and put them together.
Yeah, fantasy meets modern weaponry.
I love it.
It's great.
And I bet they're effective.
Oh, I'm sure they are.
Whatever they're fighting.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what kind of enemies they're up against.
Right.
But the players are keeping up.
Okay.
Morgana, for example, has both Life Font armor and White Flame armor.
Double the armor, double the protection.
That's right.
She's not taking any chances.
Nope.
And what about Noob?
Noob has gone all out with his double axe.
Oh, I bet.
Adamantine +3, Flame Tongue weapon, Greater Luck Blade.
He's min-maxing.
Oh, yeah, he's got it all figured out.
He knows what he's doing.
He does.
That's a serious weapon.
It is.
But it's not just about their own gear, right?
Oh, it's not.
They have a whole B team.
They do. A whole B team to back them up.
So they're not just a party anymore.
Nope.
They're an army.
It's like a small army.
That's awesome.
It is, and it's made up of grunts, Alliance Field medics,
Okay.
and rocketeers.
Rocketeers. Nice.
Yeah, they've got advanced plasma weaponry.
Wow. They're going all out.
Richard even bought them Perry gauntlets to boost their defense.
So he's thinking strategically.
He is.
Not just about offense.
Yeah, making sure his B team can hold their own.
Smart.
Yeah.
And they're using auras, too.
That's right.
Which are area of effect abilities that give bonuses to nearby allies.
Yeah, so they're stacking bonuses on top of bonuses.
It's all about synergy.
Exactly.
With all this power at their disposal.
Yeah.
What kind of enemies are they facing?
I'm glad you asked because the enemies are...
It's gotta be good.
Something else.
All right, lay it on me.
But we'll save that.
Oh, come on.
For next time.
You're killing me.
I know, but it's worth the wait.
All right, fine. I'll be back for more then.
I promise you won't be disappointed.
I'm holding you to that. Well, let me tell you, they are not fighting goblins anymore.
No.
We're talking fire ants.
Oh, wow.
Ant super soldiers.
Okay.
Buzzer swarms.
Yeah.
And that's just the beginning.
I was looking at some of these encounter logs.
Yeah.
And it is like a sci-fi invasion force has just appeared in this world.
Right.
They've got disintegrator MK2s, shock troopers, shard stalkers.
Oh, yeah. And the Scrin Annihilator tripods.
Oh, yes.
Those things are terrifying.
Like right out of Command and Conquer.
Exact.
And a Scrin mastermind with force fields.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah, makes you think that B team isn't such a bad idea.
No, not at all.
When you're facing that kind of firepower.
Yeah, you don't bring a rocket launcher to an ant fight.
Exactly.
But you might need one against a giant tripod.
For sure.
And then there's this element of Tiberium.
Oh, yeah?
That has been introduced into the campaign.
No, what is Tiberium exactly?
So it seems like certain enemies have regenerative abilities.
Oh, wow.
And damage reduction.
So it's like a special mechanic.
It is.
That makes them even tougher.
Yeah, it's like Wolverine's healing factor.
Oh, I see.
But for D&D monsters.
That's a cool idea.
It is.
So how do they deal with that?
Well, I'm sure they've come up with some creative strategies.
Yeah, they must have had to adapt their tactics.
But you can see in the battle logs, the teamwork, the communication.
It's all there.
They're constantly talking to each other.
Yeah.
Planning their attacks.
Supporting each other.
And they're always helping each other out.
That's what it takes at that level.
That's right.
You can't just go in guns blazing.
Yep.
You have to work together.
You really do.
I bet they have some amazing stories.
Oh, I'm sure they do.
From all those adventures.
The logs just hint at epic battles and narrow escapes.
It's got to be intense.
Oh, definitely.
You know, it's funny. They even talk about using Microsoft Paint to circle targets on a map.
That's great.
During combat.
It's like old school.
Yeah.
But it works.
It's a reminder that D&D is about having fun.
Yeah.
And being creative.
Absolutely. It's not always about the rules.
Right. It's about the shared experience.
Exactly.
So we've talked about the characters, but what about the players themselves?
Yeah, what about the people behind these epic heroes?
We get a little glimpse into their personalities through these documents.
Interesting.
For example, we know that Snarf, the cleric, is actually the main player character.
Oh, really?
He controls multiple characters in the A-team.
Wow, that's a lot to handle.
It is.
Especially at that level.
Yeah, it takes a lot of skill.
It does.
And a deep understanding of the game mechanics.
Yeah, he must be a master multitasker.
Absolutely.
Keeping track of all those actions and spells.
Yeah, it's like he's running a whole party within a party.
And from what I've gathered, he's been around since the very beginning of the campaign.
Wow, so he's seen it all.
He had
the rise and fall of other legendary heroes.
Like Isaiah and Gandalf.
Those names sound familiar.
Yeah, they're characters from earlier in the campaign.
Oh, I see.
Who have since perished.
Oh, wow.
Leaving behind a legacy of valor and sacrifice. sacrifice.
It adds a sense of history to the campaign.
It does.
It's like a real world with real consequences.
Exactly.
So what do you think keeps these players coming back?
I think it's the allure of collaborative storytelling, the thrill of those challenging encounters, and that feeling of achieving victory as a team.
Right.
But there's also that element of escapism, immersing yourself in a world where anything is possible. And you can see that in their planning and their strategic thinking.
Absolutely.
They talk about swarming vulnerable enemies, coordinating attacks to maximize damage, and they're really using each character's strengths.
They're not just rolling dice.
No.
They're thinking ahead.
They're analyzing their opponents, anticipating threats.
Adapting their tactics.
That's what experienced players do, and they're not afraid to think outside the box.
I mean, they're using Microsoft Paint for battle plans.
Right.
That's pretty creative.
It is. It reminds me of those late-night gaming sessions. With friends huddled around a table, scribbling on napkins.
Arguing about the best way to beat the dungeon master.
It's those moments that make D&D special.
Exactly. The camaraderie, the laughter, the shared sense of accomplishment.
It's more than just a game.
It's a social experience.
It is.
And it creates lasting memories.
And speaking of memories, their attention to detail goes beyond just combat tactics.
Oh, really? How so?
They're really meticulous about their character progression.
Okay.
They even plan out which deities to worship.
Wow.
In preparation for selecting an epic destiny at level 21.
So they're thinking long-term?
They are. They're not just rolling dice and hoping for the best. They're making deliberate choices.
That shape their characters' destinies.
Exactly. It's like they're writing their own epic sagas.
Within the larger narrative of the campaign.
It is.
Impressive.
It is. And it's reflected in their approach to equipment as well.
Yeah.
They carefully plan out their weapon and armor enchantments, choosing bonuses.
To optimize their effectiveness?
Yes. They're min-maxing their heroes.
That's smart.
And they're not afraid to spend big.
Oh, I bet.
We're talking thousands of gold pieces for enchantments like Flame Tongue Weapon and Greater Luck Blade.
They're serious about this.
They are. They understand that knowledge is power in D&D, and that optimizing your character can mean the difference between victory and defeat.
Absolutely.
They're turning their heroes into finely tuned machines of destruction.
I love it.
But it's not just about their own characters, right?
No.
Their dedication extends to the B team as well.
Oh, that's right. They have a whole army to equip.
Yeah, remember Richard, the one who bought them Perry gauntlets? He's also equipping them with advanced plasma weaponry.
Wow.
And showering them with gold for upgrades.
He's not messing around.
He's not.
He's taking this seriously.
Yeah, he's like a general leading his troops.
It really blurs the line between player characters and DM-controlled allies.
It does.
It's like they're all part of one big team.
Yeah, working together to shape the narrative.
And the DM is clearly up for the challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Creating encounters that test their strategic thinking.
Pushing them to their limits.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget the variety of enemies they've faced.
From giant ants to advanced robots.
To powerful psychics.
It's like a monster manual come to life.
It is, and the campaign scope is vast.
Spanning multiple dimensions and timelines.
It's clear the DM has put a lot of effort into this world.
Yeah, and the players are responding with equal enthusiasm.
They're all in.
Fully invested.
In this shared experience.
And you could see that passion.
Yeah.
In every document.
In every character sheet.
In every loot list.
Yeah. It's like they've created their own little universe.
And we're getting a glimpse inside.
You know, it's amazing to think this is just a small part of the story.
Oh, yeah.
We've got glimpses of the world, Death's Reach, the astral plane, even these sci-fi elements like Tiberium and plasma weapons.
Yeah, it's like putting together a puzzle.
It is.
But there are still pieces missing.
Yeah, and that makes it even more interesting.
Exactly. You know, it leaves you wanting more.
It really does.
It's a world where dragons and dungeons can exist alongside advanced technology.
It's so cool.
And maybe even alien threats.
It's like the DM just took everything awesome from every genre.
Right.
Threw it in a blender.
And hit puree.
Yeah, exactly.
It's this unique, unpredictable world.
It keeps you guessing.
For sure.
Makes you wonder what could possibly challenge these guys.
Right. Their epic level.
They've got all this power.
The defeated armies.
They've got tons of loot.
What could possibly stop them?
What do you do after you've fought giant robots and alien masterminds?
Like, where do you go from there?
Maybe a world-ending catastrophe?
Ooh, that's a good one.
Or some kind of cosmic horror from beyond the stars?
Oh, that's even better.
But, there's another possibility that might be even more compelling.
Okay, I'm listening.
Betrayal.
Ooh.
What if one of their trusted allies turned against them?
That would be heartbreaking.
It would. It would be devastating.
Not just strategically, but emotionally, too.
To have to fight someone they considered a friend?
Yeah, that would really raise the stakes.
It would really test their characters.
Force them to make difficult decisions.
Oh, absolutely.
With lasting consequences.
But no matter what challenges lie ahead, I have a feeling the A-team, with their skills and their allies and their mountain of loot, they'll find a way to prevail.
They've got a pretty good track record so far.
They do.
Yeah.
But that's the beauty of D&D, right?
You never know what's going to happen.
It's unpredictable.
The dice could roll any which way.
Plans can go wrong.
The best strategies can fall apart.
And that's what keeps it exciting.
Exactly. It's always a new adventure.
Yeah, so this deep dive has been fascinating.
It really has.
We've uncovered so much about this campaign.
We've learned a lot.
But it's clear that the story is far from over.
The adventure continues.
Yeah. And who knows what wonders and dangers await them in the future.
That's the magic of D&D.
It is.
It's a journey without a destination.
A story that keeps evolving.
Limited only by imagination.
And on that note, we'll leave you with this.
Okay.
If you were the DM, what kind of ultimate challenge would you throw at the A-team?
Interesting.
What kind of epic level boss battle would truly test their skills and push them to their limits?
I like it.
Let us know your ideas in the comments.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
And until next time, happy gaming.